this is your Bayard build. Now, first of all, you're playing a Bayard in clan battles, which is an interesting thought. Um, SAT, you've got the clan battle experience, so I'll defer to you for a second. Is the Bayard something you would consider to be a meta ship in clan battles?
Not something that's completely meta,
I thought you'd say that.
but a pretty good pick. Like a viable to good pick.
Okay, why is it not meta, and then why is it a viable pick?
Okay. So the way I define meta is that you see the ship almost all the time. So
Okay.
Bayard, uh, the Bayard's role is basically pure DPM. She burns down whatever happens to be within like 13, 14 kilometers.
Right.
But at the same time, she does not have that utility. So she
Okay.
is sometimes, yeah, she has to be on the flank where she gets to use her speed boost to her greatest effect, and she needs a player that knows how to not explode in a light cruiser.
Okay.
And because of that difficulty and somewhat fragility, she's not commonly used. It's
Hmm.
just safer to put and yeah, and she tends to be overlooked for radar cruisers like Talon, occasionally Champiev, and Donskoy.
I was just going to ask you what to use instead of the Bayard. So perfect. Okay. All right. Well, this is your build in the Bayard. Let's take a look at it. You're the patientest. So, you've got main armaments, you've got engine boost, you've got engine or aiming system. Sorry, propulsion, concealment. And that's what you would have for upgrades in a Bayard and competitive, along with hydro. Um, is this a standard captain? I'm guessing it's an honore, but you can obviously tell me otherwise. Alternately, up on you could be an option too because of the buffed survivability expert. Um, Either way, you've gone with consumables. What does that help you with? Main battery reload booster cooldown. Okay, so you want to use your main battery reload booster as much as possible. Okay, so that comes in handy. You've got gun feeder, you've got priority target, survivability expert, concealment, adrenaline rush, radio location. Ooh, heavy AHE and AP. So you've gone lighthouse build. Ooh, lighthouse build. That's an
Not
interesting choice.
not complete lighthouse, but definitely pure DPM build.
Yeah. So why not complete lighthouse? Would you say? Because
Uh,
he's got concealment.
that yeah, you still need concealment so you can move around freely.
Mm-hmm.
If you go pure lighthouse build, you can't get in close without exploding. And
Right.
and of course, if you can't get in close, that actually lowers your effective DPM because you can't hit your shots very well.
Right. So your concealment is 11.06 kilometer. That's not too bad for a cruiser. Um. Okay.
It's not bad, but it's a concern when fighting destroyers because you can't reliably get close.
No.
So against a destroyer heavy comp, it's gonna be harder. I'll put
Have
it
you
that way.
seen Have you seen a lot of destroyer heavy comps in clan battles?
Recently, yes.
Really?
So
Okay. What have you
yeah.
seen?
So at the beginning of the season, and still to the extent in the Storm low Typhoon teams, you see a lot of two German cruiser teams. You'll see like two Schroders, maybe a Schroeder Riga,
Because of the
but
hydro
basically,
and everything. Okay.
yep. At the Hurricane level, you'll actually see the most common setup is actually two French destroyers, tier 8, so like a Le Fantasque or Le Terrible. You have a split, which provides radar and a little bit of DPM.
Yep.
You'll have a Cossack. I've seen teams bring Nakazuki as well.
Okay.
And then you'll have a tier 9 battleship and a tier 9 cruiser. So
Like a
typically, the
Georgia.
Georgia is banned in this case.
Oh, you're
So
right.
the next,
Sorry.
yeah, the next best would be Soyuz because she
Right.
is absurdly durable. And
Okay.
to round out the line, you have a radar cruiser, which is typically Kronstadt.
Not a Donskoy, but a Kronstadt. Okay, because of the HP pool.
Yep.
Okay.
Donskoy also wants a little bit of support from the kid, but this comp does not provide that. So you
Okay.
have two very durable ships, the Donskoy, the Kronstadt and the Soyuz, and
Mm-hmm.
then you have kind of like a mini gank squad with the two French destroyers, the
Okay.
Split, and usually a Cossack.
Okay. God, I hate Cossack, but I understand why it's a good pick. I just hate that ship. All right. For flags, you're running anti-debt, which you should be because it's competitive. So in competitive, you run your very bestest flags. Now you've got Hotel Yankee. Chances are you're probably not going to ram something in your Bayard. So that's an iffy pick in my opinion. Fire chance, flood chance, fire duration, decreased fire duration, hydro boost, ship speed, consumables. Okay. Is there anything that could work better than a ramming flag here? Flooding reduction?
To be honest, not really.
Yeah, not really. Okay. Hotel Yankees are pretty cheap, so go for it. Okay. Well, let's get to the replay and let's take a look at how this goes. Now, when I do clan battle replays, I'm farther back, okay? Because a lot is happening at once. So let's take a look at your lineup. Borodino, which of course has radar at tier 8. Riga, radar. Kronstadt, radar. Bayard, double kit. Kids, of course, have the heal, so that makes them a little bit easier to play, though they only have one rack of torpedoes. Now you're up against a Pommern, Kronstadt, Cleveland, Ochakov, Mines, and a Lightning. SAT, what do you think about these lineups here?
Okay, so I'll start with your lineup. Borodino Riga Kron. So besides the heavy Russian bias, it's also pretty radar heavy.
Yes, it is.
But so you're definitely so this comp is centered around cap control. And with your two kids, you should be able to bully other destroyers away, and your goal is to bully destroyers away and hold on to two caps.
Which is interesting because there's only one destroyer on the enemy team. Also, I want to note, you have a different clan tag than the rest of everybody else. So I'm guessing you are merking here, which means you don't necessarily know what's going on. You're just hanging out, which is cool.
Yep. However, the lineup I don't the lineup can be further optimized because here I think Borodino is not a good pick. She is not very tanky.
Okay.
Uh, so yeah, your team just doesn't have that durability that it needs.
So
It's also
what would be
it's
better
also
than a Borodino?
uh let's see. So you can't take Vlad. Can't take Vlad or
Lennon?
yeah. You can't pair that with the Kronstadt now because yeah, we ran into this problem with trying to produce it, so it's difficult.
Yeah,
I
there's
went
a lot of
on-
restrictions in this season in clan battles.
It's the one thing I don't like about this season. Like I get the point of why you want the restrictions, but my
Mhm.
God, you need a PhD to understand everything.
Right?
So instead of the Borodino, I would rather have another I would have a let's see. You could make deal with Atlantico. You
Hmm.
could switch out the Kron for another Riga and then bring something like a Soyuz.
Okay. So Ace is a good pick. Very strong bow armor, everything.
Yep.
So,
And literally never dies.
Concentrate fire on the target.
That's something I would consider.
your kid
Other
is in
thing-
trouble.
Yeah. The other thing I would consider is trying to get more firepower into the team. Or maybe switch out one of the kids for a Cossack because the kid is superior for her smoke, but she's not as good as Cossack in a spotting role. So I would switch
Yeah.
out a kid for maybe a Cossack. Maybe
Okay.
also consider a French destroyer for rotational utility, or even another cruiser.
Stations.
Now, I will say, you are extremely lucky that... Oh, I say that as you lose half your hit points, but it's only a Palmer you have to deal with for a battleship. It could be a lot worse at tier 8 or 9. So, there's that.
Kronk smash.
Yes. But the concern I have is, at this point, you've lost half your hit points. You don't have a heal. So, I think you kind of need to just... I think you need to go dark for a second and allow yourself to reset. Especially with this Palmer coming in. Okay,
Yep.
good. Dodge.
I agree with Zath here. You are literally half the team's firepower, and so if you die, there's nothing that really stops Danny from just pressing W.
Right. I like the fact that you guys have both the C cap and the A cap. It does put cap pressure on the enemy team. Oh, beautiful. You asked the kid for smoke? This will
Yep.
really help you here.
This smoke should have actually come in much earlier. A
Sure.
lot of the times the teams will pre-smoke on the 8 and 9 line because they may expect something like a few ships or a battleship to be there. So, like, that smoke could have been much earlier. That would have saved you a lot of HP, but at least you can make good use of this smoke.
It could have been, but as Ash is saying, he's murking on the NA time. So, if that's the case, you don't know these guys. They don't know you. So, I think this is fine. This is good.
Yep. I'd still ask him for smoke though. but
Yes,
that's for
exactly.
next time.
If you can get the Palmer on fire and he can DCP, you can absolutely use reload booster. Alternately,
Yep, there's a better target though.
I think the Kronstadt's a better pick, yeah. There you go.
Yeah, Kron's taking blows to the head here.
Yes, he is. The nice thing about Borodino is it's relatively easy to play. You point the bow at the enemy and just farm, or hope to farm. That being said, your Borodino is out of position. I'd like to see him ducking into the island to block a lot of shots from the Cleveland, Ochakov, whatever.
Concentrate fire on the enemy warship.
You
And
are in voice chat
Borodino-
with him, okay.
Yeah, Borodino did have that issue, as I mentioned earlier. She's pretty squishy for a battleship. She's almost
is.
dead.
Yep.
If that was a Soyuz or another Russian battleship, she'd probably be at like full health, maybe even have an overheal at this point.
Completely agree. So because of that, that Borodino player needs to go for some form of damage mitigation. Mainly, get behind an island. He's not. He's sitting out in the middle of the open, hoping to bow tank everything. Good luck. Mines. Get the mines. Get the mines.
Yep. Get the mines. That's a lot of their firepower. And if you get rid of the mines, you free up that flank.
Lightning's not a bad pick either, but mines definitely should be your primary. Especially because your Kronstadt just died. So the Kronstadt's good AP broadside power, and then the Borodino is the other one. Borodino's low, Kronstadt died. Who's left? Just you. Riga is... I don't know.
I'd tell Kid get into that island, try to base check the lightning and then kill him. You have to
Absolutely.
deal with them.
And that's exactly what's happening. The kid just face checked the lightning. It looks like the kid just smoked in front of the Borodino. He just said thanks for the smoke. So that's gonna help him.
Hold on, is Borodino not in voice chat?
Maybe. I would say this too. Don't worry about being behind the island at this point. Just go for the damages.
Press W, run him down.
Because the only person that's going to shoot back at you is the mines. Pommern is probably too focused on what's happening in mid, probably. So it's more about just getting this kill. Nice dodge. Mines got greedy and shot AP, which is silly for the mines. He's got 1/4 HE pen. He should be using HE. Okay. Goodbye, mines. Coughlin! What's up, Coughlin? One guy was only listening. Okay, that's tough in a clan battle situation, but okay. You can do it. Alright, enemies only got 3 ships. You've got 5. Your Borodino is still alive, but the Pommern is hard charging him.
That kid has kept the Borodino alive for quite a long time. Pretty good on him.
I would be looking to shoot the Ochakov at the earliest convenience, get him down. There he is.
I would also ask the kid to smoke the gap. So that gap in the middle of C cap, if kid smokes there, then you get free farm. Like enemy literally cannot spot you.
Okay. So Watson needs to go south and smoke the gap for you because that allows you to get closer to the enemy. Open up. Now, you're using reload booster here. I don't know that I agree with it, but you haven't used it much yet.
He was beached, so I could understand that. Problem is, I guess beaching also worked against you.
Right?
Kid really needs to prioritize on spawning him, though. Like,
And he's not. He's just shooting.
Yeah. As a destroyer player, first and foremost, if you are a support destroyer player, you almost never open.
So, Ash, yes, that's true, you're not spotted, but I think at this position, with you being at only 1200 HP under it, you really don't want to let yourself get spotted, because if you do, I mean, all it takes is one lucky Pommern salvo to end your day. So,
Yes.
this is where you need to play more conservatively and ensure that you don't take a lot of damage. And you can see that right here, you're forced to back off. Had the kid smoked for you, which he's doing right now, you could stay a little bit closer to your target and farm a little bit more efficiently.
If you're not worried about dying all the time, you can actually focus more on shooting. That Ochakov would be at 6k right now if you were farming freely from safety of smoke.
Right.
And then without Cleveland there, you could easily finish him off. Like,
And, oh, just like that, it's 2-on-2 now. Did you just see that?
yep, I saw that.
Oh. So, yeah, I understand that nobody's shooting at you, and I understand the feeling that I'm safe, but the problem is exactly what just happened. These guys just died. Now it's 2-on-2. Now the smoke is your best friend. Because you have 8,000 hit points.
Yep. Like, this is how the kid Bayard combo I would envision how it works. Because you stay safe, you have all the firepower, kid just spots, and then you just farm them down.
Right. Now, you are using Adrenaline Rush, so that's nice. And the shells, is that a Banu? I think it is.
Yes, I believe so.
Okay, so you got buffed survivability, but you don't have buffed Adrenaline Rush. The Honorays have buffed Adrenaline Rush, which right now is probably worth more than Honoré, but or than a Banu. But anyway. Your kid is... I don't get why your kid is opening up with guns. Your kid should be staying dark. Really should.
If Ochakov was at 1 or 2k, I'd understand. But for 5K, that's kind of pushing it. Like,
Yep.
even though he started at near full health, he is almost, like, he's dying.
And you
That should
saw
not
in
happen.
chat. In chat, the guy said how much time left to win. Right? You got one cap to their two. You're getting outside of Ochakov radar range, which makes sense.
That's not the problem, though. Look at CCAP. If
That's the
Cleveland,
problem.
yeah, Cleveland walks onto it, all your point gain stops.
So here's what I would be doing here. I'd be going straight south to C with my guns to the right. To shoot the Cleveland, to shoot the Ochakov. They're both extremely low, so are you. But you're at this point where I feel like you need to take that risk. You simply cannot afford to allow CCAP to fall to the Cleveland or the Ochakov.
hmm You know,
20 seconds.
Oceanov is behind that island.
There it is! There it is right there! 20 seconds and then nothing. Now you need a kill to win this. You need to kill the Ochakov to win it. Or the kid goes to A and caps A. You got 6 minutes, you can probably make it work.
Not 6 minutes, but their point gain is pretty high. Even
Yeah.
if Cleveland A, it might be too close.
So, alright. You're shooting the Ochakov. The problem with that shot there is the Ochakov knows to just keep backing up, and he can probably save himself from the majority of your shells. Yeah, that's hurt. That's hurtful. Again, if you had gone straight to C, guns to the right, I think you'd be better off here. God, now I want to play clan battles. What have you done to me,
Oh.
guys?
Alright, well, looks like Kid will be able to take take a
Yep.
problem. So it's still your guys' victory.
It really is, because 15 points is...
Se termine dans 5 minutes.
What is that? Is that 9 seconds?
10, 15
10?
seconds.
15? Okay. Can't remember the exact point gain speed, but yeah, it's ridiculous, so... Congratulations, you won. Damn was it close, though. You won the game. Go for the kill. GG easy, says the kid. That's,
That's legitimately kind of toxic.
that is kind of lame. I would have words for that. If he was on your clan, I would have words with that person. Because easy, no. GG, yes. Easy, no. Alright, here's the replay. Ash, is there anything else that you want us to focus on in this replay? I kind of feel like we covered most of it. You did get the kill after the victory, which is fun. Sure. I
So,
get it.
so I guess the main lessons for you, just kind of be careful. You need to, like, you lost a lot of health in the beginning, which wasn't necessary. The
No.
kid, yeah, kid should have smoked you up there, let you free farm. Let's see, what else? After he pushed back in, you should have focused on mines when he tried to come back. That was your key to get him out quickly before he turned into the island on the 9 line.
Yep.
Good target, good focus fire on the Kronstadt. You were able to help farm him out quickly.
And I
But
really...
yeah, go on.
No, you go ahead, sir.
Yeah, then you were able. Yeah, your team was able to take the cap, but at the same time, they just kind of overpushed on A. Kronstadt exploded, and well, your team just the enemy team was able to push back in and take almost everything back.
It was extremely close. You and the Bayard had an impact in this game, but I feel like you could have had more of an impact, right? Towards the
Yep.
end there, you're low, but you also know that the Cleveland is low and the Ochakov is low. So I guess my question is, what are you afraid of in terms of engaging those ships? Sure, let the kid go to A. The kid going to A, in my opinion, is your insurance policy, right? That kid going to 8 ensures that you're going to win, even if you guys most likely lose. But get down there, prevent the enemy team from camping, and get the kill. To me, there's a lot of opportunities here. Right here, I do like that you're sitting behind the smoke. I don't like that your kid got himself detected, though, by shooting. And the enemy Onchikov did a great job there, by the way, of getting behind the island and preventing the kid from having a good shot. And by the way, by preventing the kid having a good shot, he prevented you from having a good shot too.
Mhm. Thankfully, you guys were far enough on points where Kid just takes the A cap and there's nothing Ochakov can do.
Right.
But overall, I think you would have been a lot better if you communicated with Kid more. Like that, not getting that smoke at the very beginning, and then there was another missed smoke opportunity at C. I
Okay.
think that would have made the game much easier if the Kid gave you smoke there.
So let's watch this replay render and let's focus on the smokes here. So I'm gonna pause it right here. SAT, is this where you think we should see some smoke?
Yeah, typically I would have the Kid on the G7. I typically have him lay the smoke a little bit further south. So
Okay.
it creates that long line of smoke where Bayard or whatever radar cruisers in there
Sure.
can farm. And in
Okay.
this case, that Kronstadt would have been a very miserable. Would have been very miserable.
Okay. So that smoke would have been helpful. Again, you're not part of this clan. You're just murking for them, so you don't know everybody. I get it. Um, let's look for the next good opportunity for Kid to support. We lost stream meters. That's okay. It's a boss fight. It's unfortunate. Let's keep trying.
So just as he leaves the island, that may have been another opportunity to give smoke. You saw three people pushing in there. Your Bayard was actually pretty close to them. So if you smoked up and Kronstadt's radar's down, there's
Mhm.
literally nothing they can do.
Okay. All right. I paused it here for a sec because here's another good opportunity, and you start farming the Pommern.
Yep. Here, I'd actually wait. I'd actually have the kid get me closer before giving smoke. Bayard
Why?
shells are somewhat slow, so the
Hmm.
closer you get, the more effective firepower you will have.
Okay. Also, you're not detected at this point, so you.
Yep.
I agree, SAT. You could be a full grid square closer before needing that smoke, right?
Yep, that's correct.
Now,
Although I can understand this because that Kronstadt needs to die.
take a look. There is a Russian radar that is currently on. That's a 12-kilometer radar, either from the Riga or the Ochakov, or not Riga, Kronstadt. I mean, sorry.
Hmm.
I like the decision to go for the mines while the kid goes and face spots the lightning. I think that's an easy kill. Now the problem is the kid has used his smoke, so he's kind of exposed for a bit.
That is acceptable casualties for killing their Cossack, and
I
Kid has a
agree.
so he doesn't mind.
I completely agree. Killing the destroyer robs them of their vision.
Oh, and this is the third part where there was a missed smoke opportunity.
Okay, explain please.
All right, so you see that Kid hiding in the E7 island. That's nice and all, but Kid doesn't really have any effective firepower. Your guns are for close range combat, and it's
Yep.
effective against other destroyers.
Yep.
But against a cruiser, even at like 8, 9, 10 kilometers, your
Yep.
shells they take like 3 games to come back down. So better yet, since you have a Bayard, why not just smoke him? I would lay the smoke going south, especially because that's where the Cleveland and the enemy Palmer is.
Yep.
So, if you were to sit in that position, the kid will spot all three ships. You get to farm out the Ochakov, Cleveland,
Mhm.
and Palmer. So
Now,
you also get to increase your clan PR as well.
the kid at the south, I feel like the kid at the south, there's no need to open up with guns. I feel like that kid is better off going to the Riga and smoking the Riga um to keep that Riga alive, right?
Yep, I agree with that.
Okay.
Kid is like you use Kid for utility, not for gunning. If you want
Right.
to kill other ships, you take a French destroyer or you take the Akazuki.
Right. And you can see because he opened up, he's not ready to use the smoke until it's too late. He smokes himself, he shoots, he dies because he shot before his smoke encompassed him. Mm. Hey, Sneaky Tree. What's the main skill of play in this game? Targeting, pre-game. All the thing about World of Warships is there's a lot of it. I know you're a Raid Shadow Legends player, and dude, it's really good to see you again. Thank you much. But yeah, I think we see there's a lot involved to this game, and
I
it
would
comes to
say
yeah. Wow. Go ahead.
I would say for World of Warships, for like casual randoms gameplay, I would say just decision making,
Mhm.
like in-game decision making.
Right. It starts with your overall plan, but then once you make contact with the enemy, it devolves into all kinds of craziness. So, Asteroid, did we give you feedback here? Did we give you stuff to think about? Is there anything you want us to touch differently? Now's a good chance to say something. Otherwise, we're going to move into stream ending here because I feel like we've talked through your replay quite a bit. We've chewed through it. And I'm very glad you were able to join us, SAT, because you've got experience doing clan battles. I don't, but I think you and I both, with our experience playing competitive, I mean, we've been able to give some good feedback here, yeah?
Yeah. You also have a lot of you have like a ton of experience casting for King of the Sea, so you're not lacking for any competitive
Well, thank you,
experience.
sir. I can't wait till the next one. Team League is coming up, lots of tournaments coming up.
I'm so sad. Like my work schedule has me working all of the team league days, so I'm sad.
Oh, you're missing out, dude. Some people
I
marry their
know.
clans till death do them part. Right, that's true. All right.